distant land, there lived a kind-hearted queen in a grand and magnificent castle. One day, while looking out the window, the queen pricked her finger. 3 drops of red blood fell onto the white snow. The queen whispered softly, "I wish for a daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony." After some time, her wish came true. A beautiful baby girl was born, and they named her Snow White. Sadly, the queen soon became ill and passed away. After some time, the king remarried. The new queen was very beautiful, but her heart was full of jealousy. Her most precious possession was her magic mirror. Every day she asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always replied, "You are the fairest, my queen." Years passed, and Snow White grew into a young girl whose beauty was known everywhere. One day the queen asked again, but this time the mirror replied, "My queen, you are very beautiful, but Snow White is more beautiful than you. But Snow White is more beautiful than you." Hearing this, the queen became furious and called for a hunter. The queen ordered the hunter to take Snow White into the forest and end her life. The hunter led Snow White deep into the forest. But when the hunter saw the fear in the innocent girl's eyes, he could not harm her. "Run away, never return to the castle, save your life," he said. While wandering in fear, Snow White discovered a small cottage in the forest. Inside the cottage were 7 tiny beds. Exhausted, Snow White fell asleep on them. When evening came, the cottage owners returned home. The small miners were surprised to see the princess. When they realized she was kind, they allowed her to stay. But when the queen asked the mirror again, she learned the truth. Snow White is alive and living in the forest. Snow White was now living with the small miners, cleaning the house and cooking meals. But when the queen asked the mirror again, she discovered the truth. This time the queen decided to do it herself. She disguised herself as an old woman and walked toward the forest. She found the cottage and offered Snow White a shiny red apple. Snow White innocently took a bite of the apple. The poison worked instantly, and Snow White collapsed to the ground. When the miners returned home, they found Snow White lying on the ground. They placed her inside a glass coffin in the middle of the forest. One day, a young prince passed through the forest and saw Snow White. As he leaned closer to say goodbye, the coffin moved slightly, and the apple piece came out. Snow White had awakened. The prince helped her, and they fell in love. Snow White and the prince had a grand wedding. The small miners joined the celebration, and they all lived happily ever after.